Packaged instant noodles, often sold in brightly colored wrappers and celebrated for their convenience and affordability, have become a dietary staple for millions around the world. From college dorm rooms to late-night snacks, they are marketed as quick, comforting, and satisfying meals. But the nutritional truth about these products is deeply troubling. Beneath the convenience lies a highly processed food product loaded with excessive sodium, unhealthy fats, artificial chemicals, and virtually no real nutritional benefit. Their frequent consumption is not just inadvisable, it is hazardous to health, especially when integrated into a regular diet. At first glance, instant noodles seem harmless enough. A cup of noodles, some hot water, a seasoning packet, and you have a meal in 3 minutes. But this convenience comes at an enormous cost. The seasoning packet alone is a red flag, packed with salt, monosodium glutamate, MSG, flavoring agents, preservatives, and sometimes synthetic coloring. A single serving of instant noodles can contain more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium, often exceeding half or even all of the recommended daily intake in one sitting. And that's assuming people eat just one package. In reality, many consume 2 packages at once or pair the noodles with other salty foods, creating a dangerous spike in sodium levels. Excess sodium is not merely a number on a label, it has concrete and damaging effects on the body. High sodium intake is one of the strongest dietary contributors to hypertension or high blood pressure, which is a leading cause of stroke, heart attack, and kidney failure. Over time, a high-sodium diet stiffens arteries, strains the heart, and reduces kidney function. For individuals who are already predisposed to cardiovascular issues, the frequent consumption of instant noodles acts like fuel on a fire. Worse still, the sodium is often paired with chemical preservatives that increase the burden on the liver and kidneys, organs which must filter and detoxify the body under increasing strain. The fats used in packaged instant noodles are equally concerning. Many brands still use partially hydrogenated oils or palm oil, which are high in saturated fats and sometimes contain trans fats, 2 types of fat that are strongly linked to increased levels of LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, and decreased HDL cholesterol, the good kind. These fats contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Even in brands that claim to be free of trans fats, the oils used are often reheated during the manufacturing process, leading to the formation of oxidized fats that generate inflammation in the body and disrupt cellular function. And then there's MSG, or monosodium glutamate, a widely used flavor enhancer that tricks the brain into perceiving the food as more savory and satisfying than it actually is. While MSG is classified as generally recognized as safe by regulatory agencies in moderate amounts, many people experience sensitivity to it, reporting headaches, fatigue, and numbness after consumption. Moreover, long-term regular exposure to large amounts of MSG has been associated with metabolic disruptions, increased appetite, and changes in brain signaling pathways related to satiety and hunger. In simple terms, MSG makes you crave more of the same unhealthy food, creating a cycle of overeating and dependence on high-salt, high-fat processed products. Another major concern with instant noodles is their complete lack of essential nutrients. They're made primarily from refined white flour, stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind a starchy base that causes rapid blood sugar spikes. There's little to no protein, no fiber, no antioxidants, and no healthy fats. What you're left with is a bowl of empty calories dressed up with chemicals to taste like food. The glycemic impact of such a product is significant, especially for people with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. Blood sugar levels spike quickly after consumption, followed by a crash that often leads to more hunger, more snacking, and more poor dietary choices. This roller coaster effect not only promotes weight gain but also increases the risk of developing metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and even mood disorders. Over time, a diet that includes instant noodles as a staple food can lead to serious health deterioration. Studies have shown that frequent consumption, 2 or more times per week, is associated with increased risk of metabolic syndrome, especially in women. This includes conditions like elevated blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess abdominal fat, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Together, these increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes, painting a grim picture for anyone who relies heavily on instant noodles as a go-to meal. Even the packaging of instant noodles is not immune to criticism. Some products are sold in styrofoam cups, which may leach harmful chemicals like styrene into the food when exposed to hot water. Styrene is a potential carcinogen and neurotoxin, and although the amount leached is generally considered minimal, chronic exposure over time raises concerns. The cumulative effect of eating chemical-laced, nutritionally empty food out of plastic containers may not be felt immediately, but the biological stress it imposes builds slowly and relentlessly. The social and economic appeal of instant noodles cannot be denied. They are cheap, easy to prepare, and shelf-stable. But this convenience is deceptive. What they save in time and money is paid for later in medical bills, lost vitality, and diminished long-term health. Their role in global food insecurity or disaster relief scenarios may be justifiable temporarily, but in the context of regular consumption as a daily meal, they are dangerously unfit for human health. It is important to recognize that instant noodles are not a harmless comfort food or a quirky snack. They are highly engineered products designed for taste, shelf life, and profit, not for health. For individuals trying to lose weight, manage chronic conditions, or simply eat better, cutting out instant noodles entirely is a necessary and impactful first step. Every time we reach for that familiar packet, we are not just choosing a quick meal. We are choosing to flood the body with salt, chemicals, unhealthy fats, and empty calories, while starving it of what it truly needs: real nourishment. In a society increasingly plagued by chronic disease, processed and artificial foods like packaged instant noodles are no longer innocent conveniences. They are active contributors to the epidemic of lifestyle-related illness. The sooner this is understood and acted upon, the better the chances of protecting long-term health and breaking free from the toxic grip of industrialized convenience food.